Michaela with LearnWire here, and today we're going to go over Btrendy. Btrendy is a platform that lets you search across multiple different social media platforms to find influencers that will best fit your marketing needs. Now, this is kind of a unique platform. There isn't really anything like it, but it is best for e-commerce individuals, marketers, and marketing agencies. It has a rating of 4 tacos across 6 reviews. And it was created by Hisham to make it simpler for businesses to connect with influencers. It looks like they are pretty responsive with the Q&A, and let's take a look at these reviews. Looks like he does respond to most reviews, both good and bad. And as we look at the licenses, there are 5 different tiers available. Tier 1 comes with all of the features included, as well as 75 credits per month, and you get 1 team member. Tier 2 license at $119 includes all features. You get 200 credits a month, up to 5 team members, and 2 workspaces. Tier 3 license at $219 has all available features, 300 credits per month. You get 10 team members and 5 workspaces. Tier 4 has all included features, 500 credits, 30 team members, 15 workspaces. And Tier 5 at $499, you get 800 credits per month, 50 team members, and unlimited workspaces. So let's take a look. This is the dashboard. Right away, I noticed that it does have a darker palette, which I like because it doesn't hurt my eyes nearly as much. We've got a few different shortcuts to get us started. We can search for influencers, we can analyze influencers, we can track story and posts, and we can export our data. There's also the follower scanner. You can search for people through different avenues. So let's go ahead and just search for influencers. It looks like the 3 main social media sites that we're dealing with are going to be Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. It's automatically pulled up. It looks like the users with the most amount of followers. And right away we can see we have their followers, we have their engagement rate, and we have their engagement count. We can click on each influencer and add them to a list. We also have a bunch of different filters right up here, so we can kind of narrow down our results to see exactly what we want to see. So as we go through these filters, we can search for influencers depending on where they are. So we can narrow down our search by where the audience is located or by where the influencer is located, as well as what percentage of that audience is in those locations. Now for language, we can select the audience language or the influencer language. We can also narrow down the follower range. So if we want to look for an influencer with a followers range of 1K to 10K, that will narrow down our results. Let's see. We can also narrow down the engagement, so what percentage of engagement they have, as well as the number of engagements that there are. We can also look for lookalikes to specific influencers. So for example, if you want to hire maybe Chris Pratt, you can also find influencers that either are similar to him or have audiences similar to his. We can also narrow our results by the number of Reels plays, as well as the age of the audience and the influencers themselves. There are a ton of different filters that you can look through. So we have the number of mentions, we have hashtags, we have keywords, their bio keywords, any brands that they're associated with, any partnerships that they've done, their ethnicity, when their last post was, the account type, their gender, their growth rate, and their interests. And then you can also narrow down your results to only show influencers with an email. Now, these filters are going to change depending on what platform you want to search through. So, for example, YouTube has far fewer different filters that you can choose from. And TikTok also has a little less than Instagram. Instagram definitely has the most filters. Now, as I'm going back and forth between Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, for the amount of content and profiles that it has to search through, it is going pretty quick. I have noticed that this list does kind of change as I'm going through. Instagram, at the very least, has a different person on top than it did earlier. I think Ed Sheeran was number 2, and now it's Sergey. So I am a little curious as to what that logic is, especially because I had 2 people checked, and I don't know what happened to them. It looks like it unchecked it as I went from tab to tab. So let's head back to the front page, and now we're going to try out this Analyze Influencers shortcut. Now, right away, it looks like I can go ahead and search a specific influencer on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I am going to just go with Markiplier. I thought about doing myself, but I don't have enough, I don't think. So let's just take a look. It did pop up with a little pop-up telling me how much this information is going to cost me. So I can see, oh, this is going to cost 3 credits for me to look at this information. And if I want to proceed, if that looks great, then I can hit that purple proceed button. But if I don't want to spend these credits, then I can just hit cancel, go back, and I'm not going to have to see it. We can also decide on whether or not we want to see this message again. And let's proceed. Here we are. It was very quick as it was running that information. It only took a handful of seconds, which was really nice. I'm sure that there's a lot of data to go through, and it was a very quick process. We've got 36.7 million followers. Let me double check that, see if that's an accurate count. Yep, that is definitely an accurate count. We can see his engagement rate. We've got a specific amount of likes. We can see the average view per video and the average amount of comments. We can also see how his averages compare to the median average. It's a little below average, but that's okay. We still love you, Mark. Okay, and then we can see his posts. I'm not entirely sure what the logic is behind these 3 videos being here. I know for a fact they are not the most popular of his posts, and they're also not the most recent. It's not even the most popular within the past certain time frame, because we've got a video here from 2020, we've got a video here from 2021, and then a video here from 2022. So I'm not entirely sure what the logic is behind these 3 posts. And when I do select this popular button, I thought maybe this would change it, but there's just nothing there. Now we can see his follower growth, and then we can also see the likes average for the last few videos. We can also see some of the demographics of his audience. So it looks like he's got a 37.3% female viewership and then a 62.7% male viewership. Looks like Mark's content is most popular with men between the ages of 18 and 24, with a whopping 32%. We can also see the geographical reach, so where his videos are mostly watched, as well as what languages. And then we can also see similar content creators. So we've got Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Ethan Nestor, Lord Minion, and we can also see some of his notable followers, as well as some of their basic stats. So we've got their average interactions and their follower count. Now, from this page, we can go ahead and add him to a list, or we can download all of this information as a PDF, so we have it ready and available offline if we ever need it later on down the road. I'm going to add him to a list. Let's create a new list. I don't have any lists made, so let's create a new one. We will call this one, My Influencers. So he is added to the My Influencers list, and now we can choose a board. These are just going to be kind of where in the process, kind of larger groups, if you will. So we've got potential, we've got outreach, we've got negotiating, active, and finished. So this is going to be kind of a label for where in that process you're at. So I'll put him as a potential and add him to my list. So we've got an influencer on our list. Let's head back to the front page and let's check out story and post tracking. Right away, it pulls up this little reports tab. So you'll need to create a report before you can track any of your stats. So let's go ahead, create a report. We'll call this my report. And we'll just keep on with Markiplier. Okay, next. Now we can select the type of content that we want to track. So we can track posts, stories, reels. We can also add different usernames. So if we want to add Instagram or TikTok, we can do that. We can also import from list or import from a specific file. So we want to track Markiplier. And next. Now we can choose the start date, so when we want to start our campaign. We can also add an end date, but that is optional. And then we can also add email notifications. So we'll have the start date be today. And next. This report is going to cost 90 credits. I just have the basic plan, so I don't actually have enough credits to run this report. In fact, you have to have a tier 2 license to be able to even run one report. This is even just me tracking one influencer. Now, he does have millions of followers, so he is a really big influencer. But even just one report for one influencer, depending on how big or small they are, should not take up all of my credits. But let's see if I can run this report. Yeah, so I don't have enough credits. I can buy more credits. It'll be 70 cents for 1 to 500 credits, 60 cents per credit for 500 to 999 credits, 50 cents for 1,000 to 4,999 credits, etc., etc., etc. I will say this is kind of a misleading way to list these credits when there's no zero behind, the 7, the 6, the 5, etc. At least for me. Now, granted, my brain doesn't always work correctly, as it should. But when I was first looking through these, I was reading them as 7 cents a credit, 6 cents a credit. Now, I don't know if that's my brain just being my brain, but to me, this is misleading. And I might be so bold as to say that's scummy and a little predatory. Not a fan of that in the slightest. Let's head back to our page. Let's go ahead and check out this follower scanner. So as we search here, this is going to be the influential fans. We can find any influencers that follow a specific account. We'll just stick with Markiplier. Thanks, Mark, for being our guinea pig. Minimum number of followers, 1K. That is the lowest we can go. And we'll do all. So as we try to look at the influential followers among Markiplier, I can't do... God, that's a lot of credits. Let me go back and see if... Okay, we'll change that to 1 million. And let's unlock. So I still can't run that because I don't have enough credits. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna try mine. Yeah, so it says discover and reveal all influencers among the followers or likes of any account. So this is my account. It is YouTube, but I do have a YouTube account. I actually have a couple YouTube accounts. And it is not pulling it up at all. It's not there. So this information is just straight incorrect. Let me try Instagram. It's still not pulling anything up. So this wording right here is just incredibly incorrect. I don't know if there's a bug that is preventing my account from popping up. Granted, I do have unlock results. So we'll do 1K, we'll do all. Okay. Yeah, so because nothing, even though I have my name typed in here, because nothing is popping up in that dropdown, I can't search for myself. Now, I know for a fact that this is my Instagram handle. It is. It's not pulling me up. It says any account. And no, I don't have a huge following, or hardly any following. But if it says any account, I expect it to pull up any account. Even if it's just me and my, 52 followers or whatever. Let's see if I can find a nice middle ground between me, teeny tiny little micro-influencer, and Markiplier. So I'm going to look up someone that I follow, a mutual of mine, Finch Moore. They are an actress that I was in a short film with. We have a minimum amount of followers and an audience of all. Let's unlock those results. Okay, so we still have that 359. All right, let's cut this down. Maybe we'll do 100,000. 8 credits. Okay, there we go. That's a little more manageable. We've created the list. I was expecting something to pop up right here, but that does not quite seem to be the case. So let's head on over to our list. Here we go. Hey Finch, what is up? We've got 8 influencers with a total reach of 3.8 million, a 76% engagement rate, and they also have 11.9 thousand, just under 12,000 total engagement. Let's take a look. These are all of the potential influencers that we could do. We'll add here. If they're analytics, I can see their full profile. Okay, so it looks like there might have been an error with it. So let's go back. Let's view this reporting then. Ah, right. I don't have enough credits for this, so I can't see the report on this. Yes. All right, well, let's move on. So this is the analyzer page. This is where you can search up different influencers and check out their engagement. Looking at this, I think this engagement rate changed. I think it was smaller earlier. I don't think it was nearly 46. I'll have to go back and look at it. I don't think that was that percentage. So if that did change, that's something. Okay. Well, let's move on. And then we have our exports. I kind of skipped it earlier, but we have our exports. So this is going to be a list of all of the information that we've exported before. And then down here, we have shortcuts to our account details, our workspaces, our billing info, and then any of our integrations. One thing I am noticing is that it did say that I could send out emails to different influencers. I don't see where that is or where that could be. Final thoughts on Btrendy. I'm not impressed. While I do have the cheapest plan, if I don't get it on discount, you pay a good chunk of money and you don't get all of the features. It advertises that you get all of the features, but it doesn't give you the credits to actually access all of those features, which is super misleading. Yes, you can purchase more credits, but the way they list those prices is also extremely misleading. And while I understand that this is a business, it's there to make money, it limits you so much unless you spend so much money. It kind of advertises itself as being able to search anyone, but I've noticed that it only allows you to search for anyone with over 1,000 followers. And then when you go to run reports, it charges you credits for how many different followers that it's searching up. So already there's kind of a minimum that you have to spend. I feel like I barely did anything here, and I've used up almost all of my credits. I think I have less than 10 credits left, so I could do maybe one more search, and I was able to find some really cool information. I do like that I could find some information on the demographics of specific followers, but there's only so much I can do. It says that I can email out campaigns, but I can't do that unless I run a report. And I don't have enough credits on a monthly basis, I don't think, to run a report. So it says that I have access to this content, and I guess technically I do, but I have to spend more money to access the features that it says I already have. While I do like the concept, I can see its uses. I don't think it's going to serve you well unless you're a large business and can't afford the higher tiers. It's not going to be for small companies. It's not going to be for individual use. On top of that, I noticed there were some UI elements that just, it didn't work. Going back to the Markiplier page, there was a little button with popular on it. And I know it was a button because my cursor changed from the default cursor to the hand and nothing was happening. I would click on it and nothing happened. I couldn't change it from popular to whatever. Nothing happened. Additionally, there was definitely a drop-down arrow, but nothing would happen when I clicked on it. None of the headers were sortable, so if I wanted to see maybe those with lower engagement rate over higher engagement rate, I couldn't do that. There were also some info buttons that when I hovered over, nothing would pop up. Because of all of this, I'd probably give it a 2.5 star rating, honestly. And there were definitely times where I was spending credits and I didn't realize I was spending credits. I'm pretty sure a search of an influencer costs a credit. And they didn't tell me that it cost a credit until I just looked at my credits and I went, where did all of my credits go? I don't know. If you have any questions or comments, put them below in the comment section. And until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye.